ready to do life and business on your terms and truly live your big ticket life. You either make excuses or you choose to level up. What amazing guests living the big ticket life. Woo! Woo! Brandon Brittingham.
Appreciate you having me here today, man.
It's that kind of discernment, that kind of focus, that kind of forward thinking that's so important if you're going to succeed in business today.
Jeff and I are like friends. We're real friends.
We are and so you unlock fortune and freedom without all the stress that normally comes along with it.
It all comes down to your why. Your business, why are you doing it? How is it going to change the world and what's it going to do for your family?
I want you to celebrate your success.
Talk about the struggle. But I promise you, the story is in your struggle.
They'll never be able to say that about me because people only see me working hard in anything that I'm doing whenever they see me.
Focused on your success and the success of those around you.
But being that constant in your community, good or bad, whether things are great in the community, bad in the community, who's steady?
Unapologetically do business and life on your terms and truly live your big ticket life. Amazing guests living the big ticket life. And we discuss how they do it and the big ticket methods they use. The things that make your life successful so you do life and business on your terms.
In and of itself, the only limitations that we really have on ourselves is the ones that we allow to be put on ourselves. And most people don't look at it in that perspective.
There's nothing wrong with being humble, but there's also nothing wrong with stepping into your superpower and letting people know who you are.
Get ready to do life and business on your terms and truly live your big ticket life. All right. Well, you get a 100% dose of Jeff Giannakovo on today's show. All right. So for good, bad, or otherwise, and I'm going to say it's good. You'll be the judge after our time together today. You get me. And, here's why, right? So the world of podcasting, the world of hosting shows it's work. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, especially for a really great, well-produced live stream show. Thanks to my friends at Cast Ahead. You want to contact them. They're in the show notes. They put on a great show. So, there's a lot of things that happen. And unfortunately, today's guest, for them, they were caught up in the Hurricane Ian stuff and just really weren't able to make it happen. So, the show goes on. And the thing that I would say that's important, and it does dovetail into what we're going to talk about today, creating 5-star experiences. Hard to do that when you treat the partners who support you in delivering that experience. Hard to do that when you don't respect your partners. So for me, even though Chris would be totally understanding at Cast Ahead about not doing a show today with last minute issues with a guest, it wasn't for lack of preparation on our part, just simply the reality of being a podcast host. The reality is Chris runs a business too. Chris is a partner I care about. Cast Ahead, I want to see be successful. Essentially, Cast Ahead's like in the restaurant business. When it snows and closes the restaurants in your town, if you get snow or rain or whatever, nobody waits to eat, right? They're kind of like selling time. It's kind of like a hotel business. So I guess that's the first lesson today. Like, understand the business you're in. What are you really selling? Because if you're in that time business, in this case, when you're doing, your company is a live stream podcast hosting production type company, you're really in the business of selling time, because once Tuesday noon East Coast disappears for the live stream, it's gone. It's gone. You only get 52 of those a year. And, for me, my responsibility, my character, my integrity is I signed up to be a client. I understand that. And I'm going to make sure I support my partners and fulfill my obligations, because ultimately I want my partners to be very happy. And any business that I have, any interest that I have business in, my partners need to be happy about doing business with me, because we're going to have good times. We're going to have bad times. And in all times, we're going to come together. So that's the first little nugget I've got for you about creating 5-star experiences. I've drilled into that process. I've drilled into that, point of character and integrity in all the businesses I've ever owned. When I say something will get done, say what we do what we say. It's one of our personal values. One of my personal values. It's all the values I put in the businesses I have interest in. It happens. Now, things might get delayed, but those reasons get communicated, but it will get done. And that's why we're here today. That's why we're here solo. So for me, I thought, well, I've got presentations, I've got things to say, and we're going to go on with this show. And I thought today would be a good one to kind of dig into 5-star experience and all the things that go in, because it's a lot, right? It's a lot that goes into getting those 5-star reviews. It's a lot that gets into creating that kind of experience and connectiveness with your clients, with your patients, with your customers, whatever you call them. It's important, right? It's important that we have really great experiences at all points. And this begins with you, begins with your leadership. It begins with your team. It begins in how you approach your leads and your prospects, eventually making them become customers and then raving fans. And essentially what I want to share with you today, my goal, and this is going to kind of sound harsh, it might be kind of like a proverbial virtual slap in the face when I say it this way, but my goal with every customer in the retail business that I co-own and anybody that I work with, my goal is to get to a point with the customers that I create or have in the businesses I have is this. I want them to feel obligated. I want them to feel compelled. I want them to think of our company first when there's an opportunity to refer. And if they miss that opportunity to refer, in a way, like them missing out on that opportunity, I want them to feel that in a positive way. Like, I don't want them to lose sleep. I don't want them to be upset. But I want to do such a good job that ultimately, if they miss that opportunity to refer, say it's a coworker, and they just, they heard it in passing, but got distracted. And again, everybody goes about their day. We've all living our lives. But if they miss that opportunity to refer, that kind of hits them in a way where, shucks, I owed it to those guys because they asked for it. I got 2 referral cards sitting at home on my fridge pinned up, and I'll share some of that in a little bit of show and tell later. I've got that. I had that in my email. They're doing a referral contest this month, or, they told me about when I do send referrals, I get a little bonus, That's what I mean. Constructing systems and experiences where ultimately your customers are like locked arm in arm with you. That's the way we want to make our customers feel, because when we, I know when I let somebody down, I feel bad about it. Like, I take it personally, and that's not quite the level we're going at here, but really we should be so compelling in what we deliver and what we do that ultimately people should like kind of jump at the chance to refer us and review us and speak well of our company. And if we don't do that, then we don't have any right to make them feel compelled to refer us. That's the other part of that statement. We have to earn that position. We don't deserve that position. And another little side note before I get into it, earn and deserve, I use those words intentionally. Deserve is entitlement language. Okay. Deserve is, I deserve this. No, you earn things in life. That's my belief. So we earn the right to have amazing reviews, and we earn the right to have referrals, and we earn the right to say, I want to compel you as my customer to refer to us. And in those moments where you miss out, you're not going to forget, and you're going to like almost seek out opportunities then to refer to us. But I'm going to earn that right to say those things. And I'm going to earn that right for you to refer. And I'm going to give you the tools and the ability to make it easy for you to refer, right? These are the things that go into experience. And it's really got to be deep down, like feel it in your bones, course through your veins type of belief of how you lead your company, how you approach business. So before we get into the tactical stuff of 5-star experiences, this again, like this is DNA stuff. This is like in your veins, in your blood type of belief. So for me, really great 5-star experiences come from the mission, right? The mission of what we're doing around here. What's our common objective? So I'm going to use my retail mattress store as the thing because it's my biggest, best testing ground. It's my best laboratory. It's the thing I have control over because I co-own it with my great business partner, Ben McClure. But I've implemented these things in other places, and I'll kind of call them out as we go along. But the reality is that the business I co-own, I can affect the most control. I can affect the most implementation. I can affect the most success. As such, that's what I show off the most. But when it comes down to it, creating these amazing experiences begins with the mission, with the purpose and the values. And the purpose of what we do is unlock our customers' true potential and happiness through better sleep. So I'll say that again, unlock our customers' true potential and happiness through better sleep. Sleep's the mechanism to a happier community. A happier community for us is better for everybody. Ultimately, it makes happier, better, more customers. And we really believe that. That's what we're doing. So simply put, what's your purpose in business, and can your team communicate that? And does your advertising, does your marketing, does your merchandising, does your fulfillment support that? Or do you just approach it like a transaction, kind of like going to Costco, pulling something off a shelf, giving money, right? That's like Costco's purpose is to undercut the market and essentially, they can gut their vendors. What I said about caring about partners doesn't happen in big box stores. Doesn't happen. I know it because I used to live in that world. All right. So our purpose, unlock customers' true potential and happiness through better sleep. Our mission is to change the way you feel about mattress stores. Because in my industry, unfortunately, mattress stores, we don't have a good reputation. Our industry suffers of that. I've been speaking for a long, long time to our industry about that. If you feel the way I do, you should speak to your industry too. You should take up that banner, take up that shield, expand out that space and fill it in with your thoughts and your leadership about how you change the way your customers, your clients, your patients feel about your industry. And I think a lot of industries kind of have, especially if you're selling things directly, a lot of industries have that, right? There's bad operators that spoil it for the bunch. You, if you believe in this, can be that beacon and leader in your industry. And then we support all that with our values, right? So these are the things that support the common objective of unlocking better sleep, unlocking true potential and happiness through better sleep, and change the way you feel about mattress stores. For us, it comes down to the values. These are the things that we practice and work on and do and execute, take action on every day. First one, I've already said it. Say what we do, then do what we say. Real simple. And it's funny because sometimes working with customers, we have moments where customers are kind of taken aback by that. Like, we're the guys preaching the truth. And in a world of liars, the guy preaching the truth is the one that's greeted with the most skepticism. That's just kind of the reality of things, unfortunately. But we don't get in for those games that our industry plays. So we just simply put it out there. Say what we do, then do what we say. We're going to guide and educate, not sell you. In 2022, no matter what your business is, the reality is the internet's very powerful. The internet's gotten a lot better at curating, aggregating, and presenting information. I have a lot of thoughts about big tech, but one of the things is the simple reality is it's not like it used to be going back 15 years when you could game the internet and really kind of craft and curate your own reality. That's gone. There's so many resources that are out there to guide somebody who's purchasing something. And even in my industry, where there's still a lot of gamesmanship, there's a lot of things that I don't like that happen. The reality is there's a lot of good information out there that is true. It's just that there's so much of it, it paralyzes, right? The old paralysis by analysis way of things, where our customers are often just overwhelmed. So guide and educate, not sell. Long-windedly, affirm with all that information your people have at their hands. You need to affirm you're the choice, you're the authority. This is how you build these 5-star connective experiences. There's no reason to push anybody into anything. People can spend a lot of time researching things, understanding what they want and what they don't want. It's your job to really kind of help them uncover, are these true wants? What are they missing out on? Really, you should always be thinking in the should ask questions, not the frequently asked questions, because frequently asked questions, that's what's on the internet every day. Your expertise, your points of affirmation are in the should ask questions around how you best help the person in front of you, because you've done it. You've been presenting in their situation, and you know what makes your customer happy. You've got that. That's your scalability, is customer happiness. So put yourself in that point of affirmation. And again, it doesn't just start with the person in front of you. It starts with how you attract them, how you present yourself out there, right? For us, we curate the best of the best, another value. Curate the best of the best for our customers' benefit, not for our partners or what pays us the most. And this is real truth here. As I stand here today, 5 years ago, we moved away from the big name brands you would know in the mattress industry, the Sealy's, the Simmons, the Sertas of the world. And this is not speaking ill of them. This is not meant to knock the way they do business. But if we would partner with one of those, well, there's two big brand companies in what I just mentioned. If we were to partner with one of those two, we would put $250,000 annually to our bottom line. We left that opportunity 5 years ago. So that's $1.25 million that goes right against values. So when I kind of started about opening with character and personal points of integrity, like, I really mean this. And like, our producer, Chris, could pop, I'm not going to ask him to, but he could pop on screen right now live in my show and speak to that. And he would be able to see, after working with Ben and I for nearly 2 years, these points of integrity. So when I tell you it's $1.25 million, I really mean it. That we leave on the table, because we don't just sell the brand story that our brand partners would want. We go out and we find really great companies. And I talked about this, hitching your wagon to really great partners, because it's hard to be a 5-star company with 3-star partners. And that is my assessment of some of those big brand opportunities of partnership that are out there. They're just not for my business. It doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean their products are bad. They just don't meet my barometer, my level of excellence. So we work harder. We curate the best of the best. Before I got on this show, I was working with one of the partners. We're bringing in a new program. We're kind of hitting some bumps, and maybe they're going to hit our floor, maybe not, but it's good. We're going to find out now. But I can't make 1-star partners 3. I can take 3s to 5. So we'll see with this one. But curating the best of the best for our customers' benefit, not what pays us the most. That's what I'm referring to there. And I mean, that's 7 figures of money, 6 figures a year. But here's the thing with that. If we went down that road, right, and we hitched our wagon to that brand story, we become a victim of whisper down the line. So the consumer hits that brand website, right? They see all the greatness the brand puts out in their message. Then they, weed through the internet. They hear this, they hear that about that brand. Then they come to our store, and we're now three different layers, right? So the brand site, their own research, then us. And the customer's like, thinking, well, what's really in front of me? Because this is really different from what I've seen online, because that's the way big brands work. They divide out product, they divide out names, they divide out feature benefits and programs for this retailer to that retailer. And the customer in front of us becomes a victim of that whisper down the line game, because they start with one story, and then we're saying a connective story, but it's not the whole thing that they saw first. And that's just not a position I want to be in with my customers. I want to point them to great family-owned companies that are great partners, that present great product in a certain niche. And it's a lot of hard work for a small independent business that we are. In the grand scheme of things, we shouldn't have the amount of vendors we have, but we do, because it's righteous to do the right work and curate the best of the best. We're going to respect your time and money as though it was our own. Like I like to say this, we don't Comcast you. All right. This is like, my other show I do in my retail business, we had a lot of Seinfeld moments yesterday. Everything returns to Seinfeld. So the moment where Kramer's jacking around with the cable installation guy, right? Because he was frustrated that they take 4 hours or 6 hours to show up and then blow you off at the end of that window. Oh, we're going to be there another day. We don't do that. In fact, we make reinvestments into technology to better serve you. We're doing it right now. We give you a 2-hour window. Typically, we're running at the front of that window. And this is driving around the county side with a lot of variables in our way. But we respect your time and your money as though it was our own. If you're going to spend your money with us, we're going to communicate properly throughout the whole way. We're going to be in your bedroom. This is a private space. And one of the things I joke about often is I say to people, when I meet them at networking events or other events, I say, yeah, I do business in your bedroom. And I kind of let that set for a second. And then there's some laughs. And I'm like, well, what I do is I really help you unlock your true potential through better sleep. I sell mattresses. But that doing business in your bedroom thing is important, because understand the reality of what you're doing with your people, right? Like if you're somebody in any way more connected to health and wellness than I am through a mattress, like actual ointments, skincare, procedures, like this is somebody's health and well-being you're talking about here. For us, we're in your bedroom. Think about the last time you had friends or family in your house. Did they go to your bedroom? Probably not. And, it might very well be that your parents as an adult have never been in your bedroom. But here come two guys that you've never met, because delivery guys don't hang around the store. You've never met them. They just show up. So that's take that in and how you connect with your customers, your clients, your patients in their private space, whether that's their home or their like private space in front of you in your practice or your business. We're going to guarantee your happiness with us. And if not, we make it right. It's real simple. We will make it right. I've paid for other online company mattresses because that's what made the customer happy. And we took ours back. Rare exception, didn't like it, but that's what we did. And we're going to make this an exceptional experience so that you feel compelled to refer others to us. I already shared that right at the top, so I'm not going to dig too much in for that. And then this one is really important to me. This is where we're really growing our business now. It's where personally my development is where I'm focused on. This is the shift from success to significance. All right. And in our retail business, this is all spoken through the lens of supporting the community that supports us, because we do a community show podcast. I said we had some fun with that yesterday, live on our show there. And that show is all about shining light on great charities, great people supporting the local Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and the surrounding region. People doing great things to help that county move forward in positive ways. Support people that otherwise can't support themselves. Support people that need a little extra, that need a hand up and not a handout. We invest in the show. These shows aren't free to produce. Okay. We invest in that show. Ultimately, we give our guests a great 30-minute, 40-minute, really great video chunk that they can download. They can put on their site. Their social media team can slice and dice up. We're actually putting that into our workflows now. We're finally getting, they've been in our workflow. We're finally getting that now distributed out on social media. So their time with us gets expanded and multiplied. We really believe this. This is one of these things right now. I mean, you want to connect with the younger generation. The younger generation of kids want to be connected to a cause. They want to be connected to a project. They want to be connected to something. You want to connect to that younger generation? This is one way you do it. As a business owner, there's no shortage for you to spend money on advertising. Think of this like advertising, but like with good intentions and good application and good deposits back into your community. You can't just withdraw from the people you serve and the community you serve, right? You got to deposit back in. If all you're going to do is take that community, that ecosystem is going to run dry at some point. That well, just going to run dry. You got to deposit back in. So shifting from success to significance, when you're there, when you've solidified your business and you're able to spend money and expand your ad budget, put some dollars into maybe a local podcast show is for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's a once a month event you can do to bring in 3 or 4 great charities. They can speak. You can invite your customers, clients, patients. Use your platform, right? Expand that presence you've got and bring people in on that stage. Bring people in and around you and use your platform properly. That's shifting from success to significance. And, it's all important. It's all what makes our business and the people I work with special. It's what gets people attracted. I said earlier, this is not about 5-star experience is not just about the people in front of you. This is about how you begin. This is, if you want a magnetized customer, people attracted to you, creating magnetism, that's one of the biggest ways you can do it, because your potential customers, your leads, your prospects, depending on the journey stage they're in, they see, oh, this is a different business. This is somebody that truly cares about our business, or about our community. I think that's very, very important. And I urge everybody that's in business, that has this opportunity, that has the ability to reach out and make space in their own community, should do it 100%, because it pays dividends. It's not going to happen at first. I'll tell you that. You got to be committed to it, but you should be committed to every advertising avenue that you take. All right. It was about episode 30, 35 that it took off for us. So it was an investment, but man, it's just paying dividends now. It's paying dividends in so many great ways. Yes, to the bottom line, but the opportunity that we're able to do, as an example, we had a behavioral health services company on that. These ladies created a virtual reality gamification program in the metaverse for people with autism and other learning abilities like that, where, handling knives and scissors and sharp objects, cooking on a stove is difficult. But these people need life skills. They want to be sufficient, but their guardians, their parents have a problem teaching them that. These ladies made this technology. And I took that to our local school last night at our board meeting and shared it with our administrator that it falls under his purview. And he was just blown away. That's the kind of stuff. That moment expands farther and helps our community out. And you should absolutely take the time to do that. This is what sets your company apart. This is what, when I say compel people to refer you, this is one of those major ingredients. It isn't just a little dash of pepper in your experience gumbo. It's like the protein. All right. It's the whole thing. So that's the foundation, right? Your purpose leading to your mission, your values support the common objective of what you're doing around here. For me, I like to kind of say we nail our mission to the wall, right? So like the 10 Commandments in church, they're kind of everywhere, right? They're somewhere, everywhere. They're the front couple pages of the Bible. They might be on a wall art thing. They might be in the foyer, in a glass case, a replica, of course. That's what I mean here. Like it's that serious. So around your business, you're going to put in and deposit in these things that nail it to the wall, right? I love visual cues in a business. I think that's really smart. Your sales team, your support staff, they got a lot going on in their day for you and for themselves, right? So maybe at home, they got a girlfriend that broke up with them, boyfriend that broke up, kids having some trouble in school. Yeah, be empathetic, right? There's a lot that goes on. So understand, to better help your team, you need to help your team. Create these visual cues. Revisit these things on a regular basis. You have to lead from the front. All right. And I am somebody that has to practice that mantra every day. I do not say this coming to you from a position of perfection. I say it to you coming from a position of practice. So our nailed to the wall thing. So going right in our entry door, we've identified 7 steps that guarantee you're going to wake up happy, right? We communicate that out on our site. We communicate that out in print material, advertisements, etc. Right inside the door, on the floor. And, the one benefit from COVID is we kind of became trained to look at the floor for guidance. So I did that we put that on our floor in like January of 2020. So on our floor, it says our 7-step wake up happy promise begins here. And that points to our customer lounge. So we actually sit down and our greeting is, tell me why. Again, a nail to the wall, a definitive point of action. Tell me is our sales scripting. Tell me why you're here today. So that's a great takeaway for you. You're listening and watching. Tell me, right? Because now it's an emotional response and you get to listen and your people need to be quiet and take that information in. Remember when I said you should be focused on those should ask questions to be in that point of affirmation? This is where you get that information to best help the person in front of you with whatever you're offering. Right? So nail to the wall, going in the front door, right here it begins. Tell me and then be quiet. Sit down in our lounge. What are we doing there? We're assessing the need, right? This is where we're building in and understanding, taking in that information from Tell Me. Then we prescribe the fit. This is where I said one of our values, we curate the best of the best. See, if we just had the usual rank and file name brand stuff, our prescription of need would be 1 more inch of foam versus 3 more inches of foam. How boring is that? It's very boring. It like bores me right now to talk about it. Like you can hear it in my tone. But when we find somebody that has acute back pain, has had surgeries that have failed, is sleeping in a recliner, has immense pressure points, we get to present something that's very unique, and we can show them. And ultimately we say, listen, if you don't feel relief as we're exploring options with you, if you don't feel it, don't buy it. Let's find something that you feel. Like, you know, the meme out there is hit me in the feels, right? Yeah, if you don't feel it, if you can't experience it, don't buy it. And that's kind of where we get into our presentation of findings and our products, right? We affirm, we don't sell. And these are all things we continually work with our team on to make sure we interject and are hitting on these points. But ultimately, if we can't bookend the experience, it really kind of falls apart. So it starts at the door and it ends with delight and surprise. So we do gifts at the counter, right? So if you own a nice European car, as an example, your repair bills are pretty hefty, like multiple pages. And, you know, you're happy your car is fixed, but typically they're giving you a nice binder or a nice folio with your bill in it. And it feels better, like tactily, from a tactile perspective. If you by chance catch my other local niche show for the retail store, Lancaster Connects, you know, I make up words on that show. So I guess that's happening here. From a tactile perspective, you know, that folio feels good. It looks good. It presents better than just, oh, hey, here's some black and white paper. You can tell our printer ink's running out. That'll be $7,000, please, for changing a headlight. Maybe a little exaggeration, but not that much for some of those European cars. I say that as a Ford guy, and you know, the Ford light repair is not that much cheaper anymore. Anyway, but delight and surprise. So gifts at the counter, that came from observing, that came from watching other consumers, myself, one of them at one point in time when I had a Mercedes. It came from that, like, wow, there's an opportunity to delight right there. Because in my business, because of what we do, curating the best of the best means I have to stock differently. It means we have to order from the factory, fresh made, your mattress, right? Hot and fresh to your door. One of the best marketing slogans out there from Domino's Pizza. By the way, it doesn't say it's good, just says hot and fresh to your door in 30 minutes or less. But anyway, that's a different show. So we get the gifts at the counter. We surprise in the home. So we offer really great experiences in the home. We used to do this red carpet thing. It frustrated with my delivery guys because they wouldn't use the red carpet because ultimately the red carpet got dirty, you know, with their work shoes. And they're like, this is kind of defeating. We kind of look foolish rolling out a dirty red carpet. So now we use cardboard and it keeps their shoes clean. We still do the delivery booties, but it's just that extra step of delight and surprise. We offered a vacuum with a battery operated vacuum cleaner in and around the nightstand. Why? Because actually that was holding our guys up because customers want to do that. They haven't vacuumed under their bed for a long time. So always be paying attention to delight and surprise people. We do gifts after the sale. If you recall, I mentioned about compelling customers to refer, and I've got an example of this right here. This is one reason to watch the video, folks. If you're tuning in on audio, we do this as a live video show. So you can hit the YouTube channel. You can hit the bigticketlife.com/podcast to get all the prior shows. But remember when I said compel, and in that one moment of talking about compelling our customers to refer, I gave a little example of, and I had 2 of those referral cards on the fridge. Well, those referral cards come in a nice box. Oh, I just spilled it. Nice gift box of sea salt caramels, showing that on the camera here, right? And in that is a thank you card, 2-part thank you card. Okay. Tear off the thank you message, keep that. And here's the little referral card. You can't read it, doesn't matter. But this is the point. Like if you don't make it easy to refer your business, if you don't give your customers prompts, like you give your team visual prompts and anchor points, and you review what your metrics are and you review what we're doing around here, if you're not giving that to your customers, you're missing out on an opportunity for a really great business and giving people a really great experience by being your customer. You're missing out on that. And then with that, when you help us, we help you. One little tweak, we just did this. And again, this is why it's so important. I hope you're taking this episode in. I'm happy you're listening to it wherever and whenever you might be listening to it, because right now in this moment, you're smarter than the average bear because so many people don't do this. Right now, as I'm saying this, we're 36 minutes in. We're in a moment in our history where we're in like nuggets and moments and 15-second reels, and that's where everybody's telling you to go. And that's actually making us a lesser and lesser intelligent society, as far as I'm concerned. The closer you get yourself to being lumped into where you can be Google searched. As an example, I despise telling people I'm a business coach and consultant because that's not really what I do. I'm a fractional chief visionary officer, and I bring really great experiences and new products and services into businesses to help explode their growth. And that's all done and supported through a really great process and procedure, some of which I'm sharing with you today. Can't Google all that. Can't even remember all the words. The business coach, hey, you don't even need to pay anybody. Just put that in YouTube and you'll get all the help you need, right? So when you, and I went on that little tangent, that little left turn, because when you're learning, and again, you're still smarter than the average bear, sticking with me for another minute, 37 minutes in, when you're learning and you're observing, you're improving. So we give our folks prizes for referrals and prizes for reviews. And we used to do this once a month, $100 Visa gift card. Well, we had 7 of them hanging around. I don't know about you. I'm a successful guy. $100 to me is $100. If I'm giving it, I'm going to go get it. Like, I'm not above that. I may not race right across town to get it when Gardner's calls me to say, hey, you won our monthly review contest. But apparently for a handful of people, $100 isn't important enough. So we tweaked that 2 times a year, review giveaway, $500, saves us $200. $500 moves the needle as much as $600 would have. And guess what? The family that won it came over that afternoon. And as a matter of fact, it actually, as it was told to me, it was really beneficial to them in the moment. So that was very cool that we were able to do that. And it bumped our take rate on reviews up. We actually saw more typed out reviews as opposed to 5-star reviews as soon as we started doing that. So when you pay attention and observe and seek to learn and improve a little bit each day, just again, as you're doing by tuning into podcasts, mine and others, that's very good, right? But then you got to do something with it. So we went through purpose, mission, values, right? That's kind of the foundation of 5-star experience. That mission of changing the way you feel about mattress stores, that's what I just went over. So a little more succinctly, when you come in, like nailed to the wall, like commandments, like you got to have that really great starting point. That starting point guides your greeting. In our case, tell me. Your case, it should be too. Tell me why you're looking for X, Y, Z. And you might get a little pushback, but then you just say, well, tell me why it's taken you a little while. Tell me why that first procedure failed. Tell me why that first exercise fitness coach routine failed. Tell me why that first HVAC system, you only had that 3 years ago. Tell me more about that, right? Tell me is a fantastic, fantastic thing to use in your business because it really brings the person in front of you in for a real conversation. And that's what we're here. Salespeople truly care. Salespeople get a bad rap. They get a bad rap because there's some bad ones out there. But it's, to me, it's like really one of the most righteous professions out there, because only until what you do and present exceeds the value of what your prospect pays do you get the money. So you got to exceed that value and you got to impress the person in front of you. I digress. Mission nailed to the door or the wall or the floor. Greeting guides everything. The assessment of need and the prescription of fit. These things support the mission, right? Our mission: change the way you feel about mattress stores for you, change the way you feel about fitness trainers, business coaches, HVAC repair people, whatever. presentation of fit, presentation of findings of products, and then you're affirming. If you don't feel it, you don't see it, you don't believe in it, don't buy it. But you have to do everything right. And we've talked a lot about 5-star experiences, 40 minutes worth. You have to do everything right to be able to say that confidently, that you affirm and you don't sell. If you don't feel it, see it, experience it, don't buy it. And then delight and surprise, keep it going. Don't let that high of a buying decision fail because you don't support it. Little gifts at the point of purchase or the point of delivery, follow-up, proper communication on fulfillment, delight and surprise when you're actually doing the fulfillment, all of that stuff. So important for your mission. All right. So I want to talk about other areas of experience. And this is where, again, it pays to have a really great team and partner. So remember I talked briefly about you have to meet your leads and your prospects where they are. It doesn't, like, a great experience doesn't just start with them in front of you. It starts with how they find you. So on our website, when you hit the gardenersmattressandmore.com site, there's a quiz, and right there it is on your screen. Again, if you're listening to this audio, show notes, hit us up. You'll see the YouTube channel or the website. You just go there, you can watch this episode and get the video, the visual stuff we're giving you. But there's a quiz to the right on our website. And this quiz actually does a great job for conversion of web traffic, which you can't pay any bills with. And we have great partners for AdWords. I love them. And they have that same belief, clicks and impressions and time on site. It's all great. All metrics you need to pay attention to, no doubt about it. The reality is, if none of that converts to a lead, like a name, an email, a phone number, an address, you could phone call or mail or email, it doesn't mean anything. And then if that stuff isn't good, it doesn't mean anything either, because they still got to transact business with you. But it all starts with this first visit on our site, using that quiz, taking that paralysis by analysis, all that good information, and now funneling it into the ballpark. We're not going to get inside the baselines. We're not going to get a batter's box and hit a home run here, but we're going to show, hey, we are people who care, and we're helping you navigate this buying decision. Okay, so this quiz, Chris has taken it through really a kind of a unique thing. We helped this provider build this years ago. We did so freely because we knew it would improve our business, and we knew it would improve our industry for anybody else that they would do business with. Again, remember when I said, if you believe it's your job to change the way people feel about your industry, this is one of those examples where it benefits us and it benefits our industry. And that's what we did. I suppose we could have charged for a time for that, but we wanted a really great solution with this partner, and there it was. So that's the quiz. You can play with it yourself. gardenersmattressandmore.com. You can check it out and see. You can develop these things on your own if you need a quick and easy solution, simple like Google surveys and forms and things like that. There's a lot of things out there. SurveyMonkey, there's a lot of things that can help take people from being outside the stadium and bring them inside the ballpark, maybe get them inside the base paths. But then it's your job to get up there at the batter's box and hit a home run with your customer. When it comes to advertising, again, how you greet and meet your leads and prospects, the people that can do business with you, is important. And this is where our industry really, really falls flat. Really falls flat. And I see this with a lot of industries, right? You see with car guys, $99 lease. Like, come on. I don't know that anybody really believes that anymore. Our industry, the numbers are half of all ad space is dedicated to $799 and below for a queen mattress set. That's really bad, because the average mattress set is sold in our industry for $1,200. So the average is $400 more than 50% of all space and time given to mattresses, which means the customer is getting pushed uphill immediately when they walk in the door. That's not a way to affirm you're the expert to help unlock somebody's true potential and happiness through better sleep. It's just not. And so for us, we kind of came up with something a little different. Like a lot of our ads, almost all of them at this point, don't even have price in them. I actually have a website I'll show in a little bit. It's an entire website dedicated to mattresses. It doesn't have a single price on it. But we created double deals. So double deals is something that, our advertisements, especially traditional media, point to the sales page on our site. But double deals was really the answer. Again, listening, improving, slight edge stuff, 1% every day. We used to take the approach, hey, look, we're a low price, everyday low price house. We believe this is the price we need to charge. It's a fair price. The ownership believes this. You should pay it. We don't do all the discounting, 70, 80% off, because that's not really real. If you notice a whole lot of we, me in that statement, not a lot of you, what's in it for me as the customer talk, right? So like marketing 101 fail. So a number of years ago, we realized that. And it was a genuine statement. It's true. It's still true to this day. But double deals scratches the itch for the person in front of us. So for that buyer that needs that itch scratched of a sale, double deals is this. It's discounts you get to pick to maximize your savings. We'll help you navigate it. We'll point out exactly all the combos that are there, but you're going to get the best deal for you, for your situation with double deals. So notice the shift. We, me to you, your situation. And this is very applicable everywhere, right? So this is about creating a really great experience. And the proof's in the pudding. You look at our reviews, you will see that a lot of people mention value, they mention price, and it's all in positive ways. And I'll readily admit, we don't rip people off. We're not overpriced, but we're not your typical dirty window, by appointment, low price seller out there, promoting something for $100 for a queen mattress. We're just not that kind of a company. But that's proof in the pudding. When your reviews kind of match that up, and I said that, you make the exchange, you earn the right to get the money when your value exceeds their expectation. The proof's in the pudding when you look at the reviews. I'm most proud of what we do, that point of affirmation, educate, not sell. So we support that with a book, our Sleep Better book. This is something I actually license out to the industry. It's why you won't find it on Amazon, because I know a lot of my peers, they need help with marketing. They need help with solutions that propel their business forward. I know them to be good people. I know them to buy into the mission. They want to change the way mattress stores are thought of in their community. They believe what they do improves people's lives, and they know they can help unlock a happier person, a happier spouse, a happier parent, which means a better community. They know they can do that. So we license out a lot of our marketing materials, this being one of them. But this book, man, what a great marketing tool and asset. Nothing like having a book as a business card. So that's appropriate. That's one of my big ticket methods when I work with businesses. It's one of the things I look to put in first, because there's nothing that says authority and expertise like having a book. Now, again, go back to my double deals little rap, right? It started out with we, me. If you're going to do a book like this for lead generation, for authority, for expert positioning, it's got to be good. It has to offer people something. It can't just be, 50 to 100 pages of buy my stuff. It's got to be really helpful, useful information. And again, proof's in the pudding. We've had multiple people get the book, adopt their sleep routine from the advice inside, make changes, improve habits, and they delay the purchase. And I'm okay with that. Again, because our mission is to unlock your true potential and happiness through better sleep. Notice I didn't say by selling you a great mattress or being your trusted mattress provider or being your sleep expert that sells you mattresses. No, unlock your true potential for happiness through better sleep. So if the book does that, that's cool. Cool with me. And the reality is those people all come back because a great sleep routine, great sleep habits, all of it's undone if you have a bad mattress. That's the reality. It just means we might not change it out today. It means it might be next month, 6 months, a year. I'm okay with that because our marketing works. You're in our funnel, you're in our system, right? Which is a whole other lesson, whole other show. But the reality is this book puts us in a different spot. It's that point of affirmation. I talked about a lounge, right? So like nailed to the wall, and my nailed to the wall, support the mission moment. So people come in, your 7-step wake up happy promise begins here. And our lounge is where we have that conversation. We sit down, we take the pressure off. It's so silly that people will, and for Chris, my producer, the lounge picture is actually down this page if we scroll down a little bit. But people like go around and they give what we call the CPR test. There's our lounge right there. They give a mattress the CPR test, like push on it, like you're giving CPR to somebody. Like nobody sleeps that way. It's that tactile thing. Yeah, I get it. It's sensory. I get it. But it's totally useless. It has nothing to do with anything of finding the right mattress. So we sit down in that lounge and we really have that conversation. This is where we understand what the need is. We understand what the wants are. And we really begin to uncover and help our customers put those should ask questions in their mind and help answer them. That's really where the magic is using our expertise as professionals in whatever we do, meaning you, whatever it is that your thing is. You're a pro. You build decks every day. I have a deck building client that I've worked with in the past. You're a chiropractor. I've worked with chiropractors. Proper posture, sitting in the office chair, sitting in a car, proper diet to support that. What the need is because the person's telling you that. Now you need to give them the information that they should be asking to help better support the solution you offer. And that conversation happens in the right environment. Okay. I learned this from Dan Kennedy, one of my favorite, best marketing mentor, somebody I'm proud to call a friend. And he helped this with chiropractors way back, selling $8,000 chiropractic cases. And this was all done in an environment where it looked like the part. It wasn't done at the table where they crack your back. It was done in a proper lounge type setting. And it's because it affords you the time and the space, and it's a different tactile experience where your customer gets to relax and open up about what their true issues are. If you don't give them that opportunity, they're just going to be on guard because you're treating them like everybody else is. You can't blame them at all. Not one bit. So our lounge we use, I recommend you find that place to put that into your business. Find a place to take a step back, to take like 5 steps forward. Remember when I said we have a whole website dedicated to mattresses that doesn't have a single price on it? So we came up with trademark the phrase, less snore, more cuddle. So these are very unique sleep systems. Not going to get into exactly what they are today. But essentially, the person buying a less snore, more cuddle system is somebody that's been frustrated with other stores, frustrated with other purchases. Maybe they pulled that box off the Costco shelf, hurt their back taking it upstairs. I say that with a little chuckle because it actually happened for one of our customers. And then they came to us to help find the right thing. But this whole site is about showing couples that have troubles in bed together, that can't compromise, that have aches and pains, that have snoring issues. We help those couples recapture their sleep because they're ready to invest in sleep, because they value it. And that's what that whole site is about. That's what that whole marketing effort is about. We shot 30 minutes of content in an infomercial format that's been sliced and diced, and it's deployed out in a number of different media, YouTube and social media reels. And I have it here in an advertorial printed. So I'm showing on screen the print advertorial clip from a newspaper. So this whole effort is all about affirming that we understand you fail with purchases, other stores fail you. And if you're ready to truly invest in sleep and you've got these 3 distinct problems, we can really help you. That's less snore, more cuddle. That's a ballsy, bold effort. And it just goes back to supporting that 5-star experience, because only those couples ready to invest are going to respond to a message like that. And then we affirm we're the right fit, and we make the transaction, and we make them very, very, very happy. Some other things that we do is I look to wrap up, buying what we buy or selling what we sell, rather, mattresses. It's kind of hard. You may not know if it's the right fit. Testing it on store, it's kind of uncomfortable. You're in your clothes. You're not comfortable. Lights aren't off, et cetera. So we have our dream room. And the dream room is a private mattress testing room. Took this from the car industry. They don't do it so much anymore with all the inventory constraints that they have. But it used to be you took a car home for the weekend, and it was a great little sales tactic because your family saw it, your kids saw it, your neighbors saw it. They're like, hey, Jeff, great new car. Yeah, it is cool. You're not going to, like, most people aren't going to really turn that back in, right? It's a really great sales tactic to get people in. I'm not all that in for tactics. I'm in for experiences, and that's what the dream room is about. So I took something that worked and I made it more special and more connective. So the dream room is about that. You get to test out the demo model in private, watch TV, read a book, relax. You can close the door. We tell people just don't do anything in here you don't want mom to see, but it's your time, it's your place and your space to relax. And when we get people in that room, they buy 100% of the time. So again, 5-star experience, 100% sales conversion. There it is. Like, give people that opportunity to experience truly what you offer, and they'll buy it because you're affirming it's the right fit. It's real simple. Now, take some investment, take some time, take some thought. But man, when you lower those barriers and you lower those hurdles and just get to the root of it, the experience of it, things just move along. I talked at length about reviews, about how we get them, the proof in the pudding of how they come through, but showcasing them. So we do something pretty unique. So on delivery, we leave a little customer, we call it our acceptance kit. It's basically 4 printed out letters, a coupon, a thank you letter, a referral letter so they can write out referral names, and then a feedback form, as we call it, a testimonial form. And that feedback form frames those books you're seeing on the screen. So all of those books, and you could go on the site, gardnersmattressmore.com/reviews. You can go on the site and poke around and get to that page. Click those flip books open, and you're going to see handwritten reviews. And as a matter of fact, in 2022, as I stand here today, October 4th, I can still tell you that we get more of those mailed back than we do on a weekly basis than we do the online reviews. And we make it easy for the online stuff. We've got the QR codes. We text you the link. We email you the link. So it's just easy to click. But I think it's pretty darn special that our customers take the time to handwrite out. We've actually had a couple retype the form in a Word document and cut and paste. It's pretty neat. And put it into the form. I think that's special. I think that is a resounding attaboy for all the work we do. So when I say, again, I'll kind of circle back kind of near where I began about we compel our people to refer us. When I say that, I don't say that as an empty statement because it's interesting to say and it's different. You might not hear it on other shows or other podcasts you take in or other speakers you listen to. I say it because I really mean it. And I say that from a basis of doing a lot of things right. And I'm not saying that from a position of arrogance. We make mistakes, but we work hard. We work real hard. And you should too, because those kinds of reviews are what you get. And that's kind of the barometer. That's the pulse. That's the temperature and measurement of when you're doing 5-star experience right. When your customers take their time out for you after the sale, after it's all done, days, weeks, months, and you get those back consistently, that's really good stuff that says you're on the right path. And that's what lets us know we're on that path. So that's where I'm going to wrap up today's show. I gave you a lot. Good news is it's a recording. Good news is it's on my site. It's on YouTube. It's on your podcast player. You can always go back to it. You can use those devices as a search. So if you just think 5-star experiences, Jeff will probably come up. I really hope you took this episode with a lot. I gave you a lot. I really hope opened your eyes on a handful of things. The easiest thing you can do when you hear a lot of good stuff is take 1 or 2 things and just implement and then come back and do more. So I really hope you can do that with our time today. It was an honor. And I look forward to seeing you next week with our guest on the show, which I confirmed before this one is all set. So we'll have another great guest on the show next week. But thanks so much for tuning into this episode of The Big Ticket Life, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode of The Big Ticket Life. You've heard from another amazing guest living their own big ticket life, and now it's time to live yours. First, I'd love for you to take me up on my free gift to you. Claim your gift at gift.thebigticketlife.live. That's gift.thebigticketlife.live. See, all your life you've been told what is and what isn't possible by the loudest voices from the cheapest seats. It's time to finally do life and business on your terms. Sure, you've heard similar things, but without clarity on what can be done, it's easy to have your customers, employees, maybe even partners, and your spouse keep you from truly living a big ticket life. My big ticket methods shift you into that investor seat in your business, away from commodity and away from competition, into a market of one, so you can finally live your own big ticket life. So my gift to you is for you to book your discovery call today, where we'll uncover first the Chivo behaviors, those chief everything officer behaviors that hold you back, and why moving into the investor seat in your own business is critical. 2, we'll uncover the premium position that's up for grabs right now in your market that you're missing out on. And 3, which big ticket methodologies are just waiting to be dropped into your business to explode your sales and profits. So again, thanks for listening to this episode. I'd love for you to take action right now. Accept this gift, book your call, go to gift.thebigticketlife.live. Again, that's gift.thebigticketlife.live.